Maya Collins sat in her small car outside the New Geneva Medical Center, her hands shaking as she gripped the steering wheel. She had been putting off this appointment for 3 months. The new health insurance from her job required all employees to get a breast screening. At 28, Maya had never had one before. She looked at the tall glass building in front of her. It looked nothing like the old hospital she remembered from her childhood. This place was all shiny metal and blue. Lights, strange symbols glowed on the walls, and she could see people in white coats walking around with devices she had never seen before. Maya took a deep breath and got out of her car. She worked as a librarian at the city library, spending most of her days alone with books. She liked it that way. Talking to people made her nervous, especially doctors, but she needed this job, and she needed the insurance. The lobby was huge and bright. The ceiling seemed to go up forever, and holographic. Displays showed information in different languages. Some of the words looked human, but others were completely strange. Maya walked slowly to the front desk where a friendly woman with purple hair smiled at her. "Maya Collins for Dr. Carter at 2 o'clock, Maya said quietly. "Of course. Dr. Carter is one of our best. You're lucky to get an appointment with him. He usually works with the more complex cases." The woman handed Maya a small device that looked like a bracelet. "Just wear this, and it will guide you to the right room." Maya put on the bracelet and it immediately started glowing soft blue. A gentle voice spoke from it, giving her directions. As she walked through the halls, she noticed how different everything was. The walls seemed to shimmer, and the air smelled clean in a way she had never experienced before. She passed rooms where she could see strange machines and lights. In one room, a patient was lying on a table while beams of light moved over their body. In another, someone was talking to what looked like a floating ball of light. Maya wondered what had happened to medicine in the past few years. Everything seemed so advanced. The bracelet led her to a door marked Dr. A. Carter, Advanced Screening. Maya knocked softly and heard a voice tell her to come in. The man who stood up from behind the desk was not what she expected. Dr. Alex Carter looked young, maybe in his early 30s. He had dark hair and kind eyes, and he was wearing clothes that looked expensive under his white coat. His watch alone probably cost more than Maya made in a month. "Miss Collins, please come in and have a seat," Alex said with a warm smile. "I know medical appointments can be stressful, especially when the technology is new." Maya sat down in the comfortable chair across from his desk. The room was filled with equipment she didn't recognize, but Alex's calm presence made her feel a little better. "I have to admit I'm not sure what to expect," Maya said. "The old screening methods were different, right?" Alex nodded. "Very different. What we do now would have seemed like magic just 5 years ago. Before first contact with the Zenari Alliance, our medical technology was limited. Now we can see things at the cellular level that we never dreamed possible." "First contact?" Maya asked. She had heard about aliens on the news, but she didn't pay much attention to world events. 3 years ago, we made contact with an alien alliance. They shared some of their medical knowledge with us. It's changed everything. Alex pulled out a small device that looked like a smooth stone. "This scanner can detect problems years before they would show symptoms. It can even tell us about your genetic history." Maya felt nervous again. "Is it safe?" "Completely safe." The FAR. Nanobots are tiny machines smaller than cells. They go through your bloodstream, take pictures of everything, and then dissolve harmlessly. The whole process takes about 20 minutes. Alex led her to another room where a comfortable chair sat next to a large machine with blue lights. The walls showed peaceful images of forests and oceans. "Just relax," Alex said as he prepared the scanner. "You might feel a slight tingling, but that's normal." Maya lay back in the chair as Alex placed the scanner device on her arm. She felt a small pinch, like a mosquito bite, and then a warm feeling spread through her body. "The nanobots are now mapping your entire system," Alex explained, watching a screen that showed complex patterns and numbers. "They'll check every cell and wait." Alex frowned and moved closer to the screen. The patterns had changed, showing bright gold lines among the usual blue and green ones. Is something wrong? Maya asked, sitting up. No, not wrong, just unexpected. Alex ran the scan again and the same gold patterns appeared. Ms. Collins, have you ever had genetic testing done? No. Why? Alex stared at the screen for a long moment. Your DNA is showing markers I've never seen before. They're not human in the usual sense, but they're not alien either. They look ancient. Maya felt scared. What does that mean? I'm not sure yet. These markers suggest genetic modifications, but they're not recent. They look like they're thousands of years old, maybe older. Alex turned to face her. Has your family ever talked about unusual ancestry? Any stories about being different? Maya shook her head. My parents died when I was young. I was raised by my grandmother, and she never talked much about family history. Alex saved the scan results and sat down next to Maya. I want to be honest with you. What I'm seeing in your DNA is remarkable. These genetic markers match patterns we found in ancient artifacts discovered throughout the galaxy. We think they're from a race called the Precursors. Precursors? An ancient civilization that disappeared millions of years ago. They left behind technology throughout the galaxy, but we've never been able to activate it. Your genetic signature suggests you might be able to. Maya felt overwhelmed. She had come in for a simple screening and was now being told she was part of some ancient alien race. I think I need to go home, she said quietly. Alex nodded. I understand this is a lot to process, but Maya, what you have could be important, not just for you, but for all of humanity. He handed her a card with his personal number. Think about it. If you're willing, I'd like to run more tests, with your permission, of course. Maya took the card and stood up. Her quiet life as a librarian suddenly seemed very far away. As she walked back through the medical center, she wondered if everything was about to change. She didn't know that Dr. Alex Carter was already making calls to his research team, or that her simple screening had just set in motion events that would reshape humanity's place in the galaxy. Maya spent 3 sleepless nights thinking about Dr. Carter's words. She kept looking at his business card, reading his name over and over. She had searched for information about him online and found articles that made her head spin. Alex Carter was not just any doctor. He was the son of Richard Carter, the man who owned Carter Biotech, one of the biggest companies in the world. The articles said Alex was worth more money than Maya could imagine. He had degrees from the best schools and could have any job he wanted. So why was he working in a public clinic doing routine screenings for people like her? On Thursday morning, Maya finally called the number on the card. Alex answered after just one ring. Maya, I'm so glad you called, he said, and she could hear the excitement in his voice. I've been hoping you would. I've been thinking about what you said, Maya replied softly. About the tests. I want to know more. Can you come in today? I have some things to show you that might help explain everything. 2 hours later, Maya found herself back at the medical center, but this time Alex led her to a different area. They took an elevator down several floors to a part of the building she hadn't seen before. The hallways here were different, with thicker walls and more security doors. This is the research level, Alex explained as they walked. Most people don't even know it exists. He opened a door with his handprint, and Maya gasped. The room was enormous, filled with machines that hummed softly and screens showing complex data. Scientists in white coats moved between workstations, and in the center of the room was something that took Maya's breath away. It was a large crystal, about the size of a person, floating in the air above a metal platform. It glowed with a soft, blue light and seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. This is a precursor artifact, Alex said, watching Maya's face carefully. We found it buried under the Antarctic ice 5 years ago. It's one of dozens we've discovered around the world, but none of them work. Maya walked closer to the crystal. As she got near, something strange happened. The blue light grew brighter, and she could swear she heard a soft humming sound. Did you see that? Alex asked, his voice excited. The crystal responded to you. What do you mean? It's never done that before. We've had hundreds of people near it, including other scientists and even some Zanari visitors. but it only reacts when you're close to it. Alex pulled up Maya's test results on a large screen. The golden patterns in her DNA were highlighted in bright yellow. "I spent the last 3 days studying your genetic markers," he said. "I compared them with data from precursor sites across the galaxy. Maya, your DNA isn't just similar to precursor genetics, it's almost identical in the key areas." Maya stared at the screen, trying to understand. "But that's impossible. I'm human." "You are human," Alex agreed. "But you're also something more. I think humans aren't originally from Earth. I think we're descendants of the precursors, and most of us lost the genetic markers over thousands of years. But you still have them." Alex showed her more screens with images from different planets. "Look at these archaeological sites. We've found human-like remains on 17 different worlds. All of them have the same age. All of them have precursor technology nearby." Maya felt dizzy. "You're saying humans are aliens?" "I'm saying humans are the children of an ancient race that spread across the galaxy millions of years ago. For some reason, they disappeared, but their descendants survived on different worlds. Earth was just one of those worlds." Alex walked over to a computer terminal and began typing. "The Zenari Alliance has been searching for precursor descendants for centuries. They believe that only someone with the right genetics can activate precursor technology." "Why is that important?" Alex's expression became serious. "Because precursor technology is incredibly advanced. Their ships could travel between galaxies instantly. Their medical equipment could cure any disease. Their weapons could destroy entire star systems." Maya backed away from the crystal, suddenly afraid. "And you think I can control these things? I think you might be able to activate them. But Maya, that's not why I asked you to come back." Alex stepped closer to her, his voice gentle. "I could have reported your test results to the government or to Carter Biotech. I could have made you famous or used your genetics to make more money than anyone has ever seen. Why didn't you?" "Because I saw how scared you were in my office. I saw how you tried to make yourself small and invisible. I've met a lot of people who want power and attention, but you're different. You just want to live quietly and help people, like you do at the library." Maya looked around the advanced laboratory, then back at Alex. "But you could have all the power and attention you want. You're already rich and famous." Alex smiled sadly. "Money doesn't make you happy, Maya. I've had everything I could want since I was born, but I've never met anyone who made me feel the way you do." "What do you mean?" "You're genuine. You care about people without wanting anything in return. When I'm with you, I don't feel like Alex Carter, the billionaire heir. I feel like just Alex, a guy who happens to be good at medicine." Maya felt her cheeks turn red. She had never had anyone talk to her like this before. Alex showed her to a comfortable chair near the crystal. "I want to run a few simple tests if you're willing. Nothing invasive, just seeing how the artifacts respond to you." For the next hour, Maya watched in amazement as different precursor devices activated when she came near them. Screens lit up with symbols that somehow felt familiar to her. Machines hummed to life and displayed information in languages she didn't recognize but almost understood. "This is incredible," Alex said, recording everything. "You're activating systems that have been dormant for millions of years." But Maya was feeling something else. Each time a device activated, she felt a strange sensation in her mind, like memories that weren't her own. She saw flashes of other worlds, other times, other people who looked almost human but weren't quite. "Alex," she said quietly, "I think I'm starting to remember things." He looked at her with concern. "Remember what?" "Things I've never experienced. Places I've never been. It's like the technology is waking up something in my brain." Alex immediately stopped the tests and sat beside her. "Are you okay? Do you want to stop?" Maya looked at the crystal, which was now glowing brighter than ever. "I'm scared, but I'm also curious. For the first time in my life, I feel like I might be part of something bigger than myself." Alex took her hand gently. "Whatever happens, you don't have to face it alone. I want to help you understand what you are, and I want to protect you from anyone who might try to use you." Maya squeezed his hand, feeling a warmth she had never experienced before. She was still scared, but with Alex beside her, she felt brave, enough to discover the truth about herself and humanity's forgotten past. 2 weeks passed since Maya's first visit to Alex's research lab. Every day she came back to work with the precursor artifacts. Each time more devices activated, and more strange memories filled her mind. Alex watched her carefully, taking notes and making sure she was safe. On a rainy Tuesday morning, Alex picked Maya up from her apartment in a car that cost more than most people's houses. She still felt uncomfortable with his wealth, but she was getting used to his kindness. "Today, I want to show you something special," Alex said as they drove through the city. "My private research facility." "You have your own research place?" "My father built it for me when I graduated from medical school. He thought I would use it to make new medicines to sell. Instead, I've been studying precursor technology." They drove outside the city to a building hidden in the forest. It looked like a modern house from the outside, but when Alex opened the door, Maya saw it was actually a huge laboratory. The main room had a ceiling that went up 3 stories, and the walls were covered with screens showing data from around the galaxy. "This is where I do my real work," Alex said. "Everything at the medical center is just basic research. Here I can study things that the government and other companies don't know about." Maya walked around the room looking at the amazing equipment. "Why do you keep it secret?" "Because I learned something that could change everything." Alex pulled up a large display showing a map of the galaxy. "Maya, the Zenari Alliance didn't contact Earth to help us. They came here because they were looking for you. For me specifically. For someone like you. Someone with precursor genetics." Alex pointed to different stars on the map. "The Zenari have been traveling the galaxy for thousands of years, searching every world for precursor descendants. They've found artifacts on hundreds of planets, but none of them worked until now." Maya felt cold suddenly. "What do they want?" Alex showed her images of massive spaceships and weapons. "The Zenari Alliance is not what they pretend to be. They're not peaceful explorers. They're conquerors who take over other civilizations. They've been using the promise of shared technology to get close to different species. But they gave us medical technology." "Basic medical technology," Alex corrected. "Nothing compared to what they keep for themselves. They gave us just enough to make us grateful and trusting." Alex walked over to a secure area of the lab and pressed his hand against a scanner. A wall slid open, revealing another room filled with more precursor artifacts than Maya had ever seen. Crystals, metal devices, and machines that seemed to bend, light itself. "I've been collecting these for years," Alex said. "Buying them from private collectors, trading with other researchers, even stealing some from government facilities." Maya gasped. "You stole them?" "I had to. The government was going to give them to the Zenari." Alex's voice was serious. "Maya, every piece of precursor technology we've found has been harmless until you came along, but with your genetics, these devices become incredibly powerful." Alex led her to a device that looked like a chair made of silver metal. "This is a precursor interface chair. It's designed to connect directly with someone who has the right genetic markers." "What does it do?" "We think it allows complete control. Overall precursor technology, ships, weapons, computers, everything." Alex looked at Maya with concern. "If the Zenari get access to you in this chair, they could control technology across the entire galaxy." Maya backed away from the chair. "I don't want to control anything. I just want to go back to my normal life." Alex stepped closer to her. "I know, and that's exactly why you're the right person to have this power. You don't want it." He took her hands gently. "Maya, I've spent months studying you. Not just your genetics, but who you are as a person. You're kind, thoughtful, and you care about others before yourself. But I'm scared. What if I make a mistake? What if I hurt someone? Then we'll figure it out together." Alex's voice was soft. "I'm not going to let anyone force you to use these powers. Not the government, not the Zenari, not even my father's company." Maya looked around the room at all the alien technology. "What do you think I should do?" "I think you should learn about your abilities in a safe place, with someone who cares about you. Alex smiled. And I think you should know that my feelings for you have nothing to do with your genetics. Maya felt her heart beat faster. What do you mean? I mean, I was falling in love with you before I knew you were special. The way you bite your lip when you're nervous, the way you smile when you think no one is looking, the way you care about the people who visit your library. Alex stepped closer. You could have no special powers at all, and I would still want to spend every day getting to know you better. Maya had never had anyone speak to her like this. In her 28 years, she had always felt invisible and unimportant. But Alex made her feel like she was the most valuable person in the world. I care about you too, she said quietly. But Alex, you could have anyone. You're rich and smart and handsome. I'm just a librarian who's afraid of her own shadow. You're not afraid anymore, Alex said, touching her face gently. I've watched you get braver every day. You came back to the lab even when you were scared. You're learning to use technology that no human has touched for millions of years. You're the strongest person I know. Maya felt tears in her eyes. I don't feel strong. Then let me help you see what I see. Alex led her to the interface chair. You don't have to use it today, or tomorrow or ever if you don't want to. But Maya, I think you were meant for something amazing. Maya looked at the chair, then at Alex. If I do this, if I learn to use these powers, what happens to us? What do you mean? You said you're falling in love with me as I am now. But what if using precursor technology changes me? What if I become someone different? Alex thought for a moment. Then I'll fall in love with whoever you become. But Maya, I don't think using your abilities will change who you are inside. I think it will just help you become more yourself. Maya sat down in the regular chair next to the precursor interface. I need time to think. Take all the time you need. But while you're thinking, there's something else you should know. Alex pulled up news reports on his screen. The Zanari have been asking questions about our medical screening programs. I think they know we found someone special. Maya felt fear return. Are they coming for me? Not yet. But Maya, I think we're running out of time to figure this out safely. Alex sat beside her. Whatever you decide, I'll be with you. But we might need to make a choice soon about how we want to face whatever comes next. Maya looked at Alex's kind face and felt something she had never experienced before. For the first time in her life, she wasn't facing her fears alone. Maya was reading in her apartment when the emergency alert came through every screen in the city. She looked up from her book to see a Zanari face on her television. The alien had gray skin, large black eyes, and spoke in perfect English with a strange accent. People of Earth, the Zanari leader said, we have wonderful news to share with your planet. Our medical partnership has discovered a human with very special genetics. This person can help us unlock ancient technology that will benefit all civilizations in the galaxy. Maya's phone rang immediately. It was Alex. Maya, don't go anywhere, he said quickly. They're talking about you on every news channel. The Zanari somehow got hold of your medical data. Maya switched channels and saw her own face on the screen. It was her photo from the library's website, but now it was being shown across the world with the words, genetic miracle underneath. We respectfully request that Maya Collins come forward, the Zanari continued. She will be treated with the highest honor and will help us bring peace to the galaxy through precursor technology. Maya turned off the television with shaking hands. Within minutes, she could hear helicopters outside her building and see crowds gathering on the street below. News reporters were setting up cameras, and people were holding signs with her name. Alex arrived at her apartment in less than an hour, but he had to sneak in through the building's back entrance. Maya let him in quickly, and he immediately went to her windows to look outside. They have the building surrounded, he said. Government cars, news trucks, and I think I saw some Zanari vehicles too. Alex, I'm scared. How did they find out? About me? Alex sat down beside her and pulled out his laptop. Someone leaked your medical data to the Zanari. I'm trying to find out who, but right now we need to focus on keeping you safe. On his computer, Alex showed Maya news reports from Around the world, the story was everywhere. Scientists were calling her the most important human discovery in history. Religious leaders were saying she might be proof that humans had a divine purpose. Politicians were arguing about whether she belonged to Earth or should be shared with the aliens. "Look at this," Alex said, pointing to one news report. "The Zanari ambassador is holding a press conference." They watched as the tall gray alien spoke to a room full of reporters. "Maya Collins represents the future of galactic civilization," he said. "With her help, we can activate precursor technology that will end disease, poverty, and war throughout the universe. We ask that Earth's government cooperate in bringing her to us safely." A reporter raised her hand. "What if she doesn't want to come with you?" The Zanari's black eyes seemed to grow darker. "We believe that once she understands the importance of her role, she will choose to help us. However, the technology she can control is too dangerous to leave unguided. For the safety of all civilizations, she must be properly trained." Alex closed the laptop. "Maya, they're not asking. They're demanding." Before Maya could respond, her phone rang. The caller ID showed unknown, but when she answered, she heard a human voice. "Ms. Collins, this is Secretary of Defense Patricia Williams. I'm calling to inform you that you are now under the protection of the United States government." "What does that mean?" Maya asked. "It means we're sending a team to escort you to a secure location where you can be kept safe while we figure out this situation with the Zanari." Maya looked at Alex, who was shaking his head. "Secretary Williams," Maya said, "I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to be left alone." "I'm afraid that's not possible anymore, Ms. Collins. This is a matter of national security. The team will be there in 10 minutes. The line went dead. Alex immediately started packing a bag for Maya. "We have to leave now," he said. "If the government takes you, they'll eventually give you to the Zanari. They can't risk an alien invasion over one person. But where can we go? They know what I look like. They have my picture everywhere." Alex smiled grimly. "I told you my family has money. We have places the government doesn't know about." They left Maya's apartment through a secret passage that Alex had discovered while studying the building's blueprints. He led her through basement tunnels that connected to the subway system. As they walked through the dark passages, Maya realized how much Alex had prepared for this moment. "You knew this would happen," she said. "I hoped it wouldn't, but I prepared for it. Maya, I've been protecting you since the day we met." They emerged from the tunnel several miles away, where Alex had a simple car waiting. As they drove out of the city, Maya saw military vehicles heading toward her apartment building. "Where are we going?" she asked. "A cabin in the mountains. It's been in my family for generations, but it's registered under a fake name. We'll be safe there while we figure out what to do." As they drove, Alex's phone kept ringing with calls from reporters, government officials, and his father's company. He ignored them all. "Alex, you're giving up everything for me," Maya said. "Your career, your family's business, maybe even your freedom." Alex reached over and took her hand. "Maya, nothing matters to me more than you. Not money, not my reputation, not even my family's approval. But what if we can never go back to normal life? Then we'll build a new kind of life together." Alex squeezed her hand. "I love you, Maya. Not because of your genetics or your powers, but because of who you are. I would rather spend the rest of my life hiding in a cabin with you than live in a mansion without you." Maya felt tears in her eyes. "I love you too, Alex, but I'm afraid I'm going to ruin your life." "You're not ruining anything. You're making everything better." They drove through the night, leaving behind the city lights and the crowds of people who wanted to use Maya for their own purposes. As they climbed into the mountains, Maya felt something she had never experienced before. Despite all the danger and uncertainty, she felt free. For the first time in her life, she was with someone who loved her for exactly who she was. But as they reached the hidden cabin, both Maya and Alex knew that their peace wouldn't last long. The Zanari had made their demands clear, and the whole world was watching to see what would happen next. In the quiet of the mountain cabin, Maya made a decision. She was tired of being afraid, tired of letting other people make choices for her. Tomorrow, She would start learning to use her powers not because the aliens wanted her to, but because she was ready to take control of her own destiny. Maya spent 3 days at the mountain cabin learning to use her abilities with the precursor devices Alex had brought. Each morning, she sat in the interface chair and felt her mind expand beyond anything she had ever imagined. She could sense things across vast distances and understand languages she had never heard before. On the third night, while Alex was sleeping, Maya made a discovery that changed everything. She had been practicing with a communication device when suddenly she felt the presence of other minds. Not human minds, but alien ones. The Zanari. At first she tried to pull away, but then she realized something important. She could sense their emotions and thoughts just like she could activate their technology. And what she felt surprised her, completely. The Zanari were not the confident conquerors they pretended to be. They were terrified. Maya gently woke Alex and told him what she had discovered. "I can feel them, Alex. They're scared, desperate, and sad. Something terrible is happening to their world." Alex sat up in bed, immediately alert. "What do you mean?" "Their planet is dying. Their sun is getting weaker, and their people are getting sick from something in their air. They've been searching the galaxy for precursor technology because they think it's the only way to save their civilization." Maya showed Alex what she had learned by connecting with a small precursor crystal. Images appeared in the air above the device, showing the Zanari homeworld. It was a beautiful place, but Maya could see that the plants were turning brown and the cities looked empty. "They've been lying to everyone," Maya continued. "They're not trying to conquer other worlds. They're trying to save their own people before they all die." Alex studied the images carefully. "But Maya, even if their intentions aren't evil, they're still demanding that you help them. They haven't given you a choice." "That's because they don't understand humans yet." Maya stood up and walked to the window, looking out at the forest around the cabin. "Alex, I think I know what I need to do." "What do you mean?" Maya turned back to him with a determined expression that Alex had never seen before. "I'm going to contact them directly. Not through the government or news reporters, but mind to mind." "Maya, that sounds dangerous." "Everything about this situation is dangerous." Maya sat back down next to Alex. "But I've been hiding and letting other people make decisions about my life for too long. It's time for me to choose what happens next." Alex took her hands. "Whatever you decide to do, I'll support you. But please be careful." Maya spent the next morning preparing. She used the interface chair to practice reaching out across space with her mind until she could clearly sense the Zanari ship orbiting Earth. Then, when she felt ready, she sent them a message. "My name is Maya Collins," she projected with her thoughts. "I want to talk to your leaders, not through governments or reporters, but directly." The response came immediately. She felt surprise and hope from the aliens, followed by a strong mental voice. "Maya Collins, we are honored by your contact. I am Commander Zeph of the Zanari Alliance. We have been waiting to speak with you." "I know what you want from me," Maya replied. "But before I make any decisions, I want to understand your real situation." For the next hour, Commander Zeph shared the true story of the Zanari people. Their sun was dying slowly, and they had maybe 50 years before their world became uninhabitable. They had tried to find new planets to live on, but their biology only worked on worlds very similar to their original home. "We discovered precursor technology on many worlds," Zeph explained, "but we could never activate it. We learned that only genetic descendants of the precursors could make it work. We have spent centuries searching for someone like you." Maya felt the commander's desperation and the weight of responsibility for billions of lives, but she also sensed something else. "You're not telling me everything," she said. "What are the precursor weapons really for?" There was a long pause before Zeph answered. "There are other civilizations that have claimed the best planets in our region of space. If we cannot save our world, we may need to take one of theirs. So you would destroy other people's to save your own?" "We would do whatever is necessary to survive." Maya felt sick. The Zanari were planning to use precursor weapons to attack innocent civilizations if they couldn't find another solution. "Commander Zeph, Maya said firmly. I will help you, but not the way you expect. What do you mean? Maya looked at Alex, who nodded encouragingly. I will come to your ship and work with your scientists, but we're going to find a solution that saves your people without hurting anyone else. That may not be possible. Then, we'll make it possible. Maya's mental voice was stronger than she had ever heard it. I can activate precursor technology, but I choose how it gets used. If you want my help, you have to agree to my terms. Commander Zeph was quiet for several minutes. Maya could feel him discussing her offer with other Zanari leaders. What are your terms? He finally asked. First, no weapons. We focus only on technology that can heal and create, not destroy. Second, I bring my partner, Alex Carter, with me. He's a scientist who understands both human and precursor technology. Third, if we find a solution, you share it freely with other civilizations that need help. And if we refuse your terms? Maya felt a calmness she had never experienced before. Then I disappear and you never find another precursor descendant. I've learned to hide my genetic signature from your scanners. This was not entirely true, but Maya had discovered during her practice that she could dim her connection to precursor technology when she wanted to. After another long pause, Commander Zeph replied, We accept your terms. When will you come to our ship? Tomorrow. But Commander, I want you to understand something. I'm not coming as your prisoner or your tool. I'm coming as a partner who wants to help you find a better way. We understand. Maya Collins. We will prepare for your arrival. Maya ended the mental connection and found Alex staring at her with amazement. You just negotiated with alien leaders like you've been doing it your whole life, he said. Maya smiled. I guess I'm not the same shy girl who was afraid to get a medical screening. No, you're not. You're incredible. Alex kissed her gently. But are you sure about this? Once we go to their ship, there's no guarantee we'll be able to come back. Maya looked out at the forest one more time, then at Alex's loving face. I'm sure. For the first time in my life, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. That night, as they prepared for the most important day of their lives, Maya felt something she had never experienced before. She felt powerful, not because of her genetics or her abilities, but because she had chosen to use her gifts to help others instead of hiding from them. Maya and Alex stood in a field outside the mountain cabin, looking up at the massive Zanari ship that had landed silently in the early morning light. The ship was beautiful and strange, made of a silver metal that seemed to change colors in the sunlight. It was bigger than any building Maya had ever seen. Are you ready? Alex asked, taking her hand. Maya squeezed his fingers. As ready as I can be. As they walked toward the ship, a door opened with no sound at all. Commander Zeph waited for them, and Maya was surprised by how different he looked in person. He was tall and thin, with gray skin that had a slight blue tint. His large black eyes seemed sad but hopeful. Maya Collins and Alex Carter, Zeph said in English that sounded almost perfect. Welcome aboard the Harmony of Stars. We are grateful that you have come. The inside of the ship was nothing like Maya had expected. Instead of cold metal walls, everything was curved and smooth, with soft lights that seemed to come from the walls themselves. Plants grew everywhere, creating a garden-like feeling even in space. Your ship is beautiful, Maya said. Thank you. We believe that peaceful spaces help create peaceful minds. Zeph led them through corridors filled with Zanari crew members, who stopped their work to watch Maya pass. Our scientists are very excited to meet you. They entered a large room where dozens of Zanari were working with precursor artifacts. Maya had never seen so many pieces of ancient technology in one place. Crystals floated in the air, metal devices hummed with energy, and screens showed symbols that made her mind feel strange. This is our research center, Zeph explained. We have collected these artifacts over many centuries, but none of them have ever worked properly. Maya walked among the devices and immediately they began to respond to her presence. Lights grew brighter, sounds became clearer, and information started flowing into her mind faster than she could process it. Incredible, whispered one of the Zanari scientists. The technology recognizes her completely, but as Maya connected more deeply with the precursor systems, Something unexpected happened. She began to see not just what the devices could do, but why they had been created. The precursors had faced the same problem as the Zanari. Their son had been dying, and they had built this technology to save their civilization. "Alex," Maya called out, her voice excited. "Come look at this." Alex joined her at a large crystal display that was now showing detailed plans and equations. "What am I looking at?" "The solution," Maya said. "The precursors didn't build weapons to take other worlds. They built something much better. They built technology that could heal dying stars." Commander Zeph and his scientists gathered around Maya as she explained what she was seeing in the precursor data. "This device can restart nuclear fusion in old stars," she said, pointing to a complex machine shown on the crystal display. "The precursors used it to save their own sun millions of years ago. But if they had this technology, why did they disappear?" asked one of the scientists. Maya felt a deep sadness as more information flowed into her mind. Because they chose to leave. Once they solved their star problem, they realized they had become too powerful. They were afraid they might accidentally hurt other civilizations, so they spread their children across the galaxy and then went away to someplace far from everyone else. "Their children?" Zeph asked. "Humans," Alex said, understanding. "And probably other species too. The precursors made sure their genetic legacy would survive even if they couldn't." Maya spent the next several hours working with the Zanari scientists to understand the star-healing technology. But as she used her abilities more intensively, she began to feel strange changes happening in her body and mind. Her thoughts were becoming faster and clearer, but also different. She could sense things across the entire galaxy, feel the life force of billions of creatures, and understand technologies that no human had ever imagined. "Maya," Alex said quietly, pulling her aside. "Are you okay? You seem different." Maya looked at her hands and saw that her skin was beginning to glow softly with the same light as the precursor crystals. "I think using these abilities is changing me into something like what the precursors were." Alex felt scared. "Is it hurting you?" "No, it doesn't hurt, but I'm becoming something that's not quite human anymore." Maya touched his face gently. "Alex, I need you to help me make a choice." "What choice?" Maya showed him what she had learned from the precursor data. "I can use this technology to save the Zanari sun and probably any other dying star in the galaxy. But if I do, I'll change completely. I'll become like the precursors, too powerful to live safely among normal people." Alex felt his heart breaking. "What would happen to us?" "I don't know. I might have to leave Earth like the precursors did. Or I might find a way to control these changes and stay human enough to be with you." Alex was quiet for a long time, thinking about what Maya had said. Finally, he took her glowing hands in his. "Maya, I fell in love with your heart and your mind, not just your human body. If you change into something else but you're still the kind, brave person I love, then I'll find a way to be with you no matter what. Even if I become something completely different, even then." Alex smiled at her. "Besides, maybe the galaxy needs someone like you, someone who wants to help instead of conquer." Maya made her decision, working with the Zanari scientists and using Alex's knowledge of human technology. She spent 3 days building a device that could restart their dying sun. When it was finished, she activated it using her full connection to precursor technology. The process changed her completely. Her skin became translucent and filled with starlight. Her eyes turned silver like liquid mercury. Her mind expanded until she could sense every living thing in the galaxy. But somehow, her love for Alex and her desire to help others remained the same. The device worked perfectly. The Zanari sun blazed back to life, stronger than it had been in centuries. But Maya discovered something wonderful. Instead of having to leave like the original precursors, she found she could control her new abilities and choose when to use them. 6 months later, Maya and Alex were working together in a new kind of facility that served as Earth's center for galactic diplomacy. Maya had become humanity's first ambassador to the stars, using her abilities to help solve problems between different civilizations. Alex worked beside her, developing technologies that combined human innovation with precursor science. "Do you ever miss being just a librarian?" Alex asked one evening, as they watched the sunset from their new home. Maya, who could now appear, either in her human form or her precursor form as she chose, smiled at him with the same shy smile he had fallen in love with. "Sometimes," she said, "but I think this is what I was always meant to do. Help people find what they need, whether it's a book or a way to save their entire civilization." Alex kissed her, marveling at how she had grown from a frightened girl into the most important person in the galaxy, while somehow remaining the same loving woman who had captured his heart in a medical office. Together, they had shown the universe that humanity's greatest strength was not their ability to fight, but their ability to find solutions that helped everyone.